WorldBees. So what our whole business is about is trying to promote the bee population throughout local Napa through a series of services. But right now we're going to talk about why this town needs it and how we're going to help solve all these issues that we're discussing right now.
So first we had to find something that we really genuinely cared about. So we thought the bees would be something really great. And the reason why is the decline in the bee population, which is due to the colony collapse disorder. And so basically it's like when the insects aren't coming and taking over the hive after they leave and the bees aren't staying in the hives for various reasons. Most of them all trace back to pesticides and what we're using in our gardens and with our plants. So it also is just a lot of stress. So they don't have food, there's nothing to pollinate because the things are contaminated, and so then it comes and parasites are taking over the hives. So the next part is our market research. Through talking to a lot of local beekeepers and beehive owners, we decided that this was going to be something that could catch on. Here we have pictures of what the grocery store is like without the main pollinators, which are the bees. So what will happen if the decline continues and we don't do anything about it? So this is not a grocery store that you'd like to walk into, nor your kids. So this is definitely an issue that we do need to address immediately. So when we did our survey originally, our being healthy and environmentally friendly and going green, it's trendy. So this is something that will catch on within our demographic is large properties, so the avenues of Napa or large wineries, so bigger scale, not necessarily the average home. We would service the average home, but larger scale just because of money and land. So those are the type of people that we did survey, and they did say that they would be interested in doing something about this.
So talking a little bit about our actual services that we would be offering to solve this solution, we have two main things that we are providing. The first is bee boxes. The whole point of hosting a bee box and letting us service it for you is that you can have bees on your property and it can help locally your neighborhood and locally the whole town. But you don't have to commit the time to learning how to beekeep and learning how to take care of these bees and taking the time out of your day to service them. And our second service that we would be providing would be landscaping. So maybe you can't host bee boxes, you're interested in that, or you are one of our bee box hosting clients. You can still buy into landscaping services, which would be designed specifically to help promote local pollination and plants that don't have pesticides in them, and things that would attract more bees and help their health. Initially, it would cost $400 for a person to buy and to set up a bee box, but then every hour then spent servicing it would only be $50, and we would have to service a bee box approximately 24 times a year, depending on the time of year. During summer, it's a more active time, and in the winter, we could maybe only have to come to your bee box once a month. And then as for setting up the landscaping, there would be a baseline of $200, and then we would build on from there, because we don't want anyone saying, oh, well, we just want one plant potted, because that would be pretty pointless for us. But then if they have a very large amount of property, it would go up in price from there. We'd be making money off of this because boxes would only cost us about $100 each. And an actual hive would cost us about $116. So we're selling that for $400, plus the time it would spend to set it up. And we would be attempting to keep all of our landscaping things that we buy at least $50 to $100 under what we're selling it for. As for advertising, we want to talk a little bit about our customers that we're targeting specifically. Harris Market, which is a market research firm, conducted a survey in 2012 that found adults with children in the house are more likely to buy products that are responsibly and ethically produced, 51% more likely than people without children. And 82% of American adults claim to be well informed about companies and brands with a strong record of sustainability, and 80% of those people let those choices drive who they're going to buy from. The connection with this is that by making our market more towards families and businesses, those are the people we know are going to buy those families and those businesses, because businesses would be more likely to buy on because more clients would come into them. And also, with advertising, we would want to put signage out with these people. They would advertise that they're using these because parents would be proud of it, and businesses would want to attract customers. And another low cost of advertising we wanted to buy into was going through local businesses, putting out pamphlets, because say you're standing in line waiting for your organic produce and you see pamphlets laying out, and next thing you know, you're taking lessons for fly fishing, or maybe next thing you know, you're hosting a bee box based off these pamphlets that you're just getting introduced through other businesses. And just for reference, this is what one of our bee boxes would look like, just so you're more familiarized with our product.
So as far as competition goes, we're a very unique company, so we don't have any businesses that are real competition to us. Our biggest competition would be people like landowners that have bee boxes on their own property and don't use a service to help them service the bee boxes, and they're not really a big threat to us. And from the market research that we've done, the local owners that do have bee boxes weren't ever really taught how to take care of them. They had to learn on their own, and so that's a thing where we could come in and possibly help them out with their own bee boxes on their property. And then we have our startup cost. We're looking at $15,000, and from our projected cost, we're expected to make $273,000 in our first 12 months.
Oh, sorry. Oh, okay. So here is, though the payoff will be good and your money will be well spent, and your wallet will be thicker. Also, the grocery store produce section will be more colorful. So it's something that, yes, from an investor's perspective, it would make sense to invest in our company, but it's not just a money thing. This is a social community problem and social justice in the sense that it's what word am I looking for? Not either. It's something that it's a ripple effect, so it'll impact the greater community. So we appreciate your support and the time taken to listen to our pitch, and we hope we can help save the bees and eat more honey.
Save the bees.